station should be playing. Or here's another one. We're gonna wait and see who plays it first. I'm like, what? This will be busting the fresh cuts now, you know? That made me so mad one day, man, thinking about it. I felt like just rushing up to the radio station, knocking out the program director, knocking out the music director, you know, knock the DJ unconscious, and just run over the tables and just rip!